It was supposed to be just a weekend away. A break from my life, my rules, my past. But that night, when I heard him whisper my name, something inside me shattered. I let him in, deep. And after that, nothing felt wrong, even though everything was. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. I still see the fluorescent lights of St. Vincent's when I close my eyes. Another graveyard shift, another night stitching strangers back together, while my own life kept quietly unraveling. I was 42, divorced, and worn thin from a life that never paused. My world smelled like stale coffee and antiseptic, and I could feel the weight of every year pressing down on my shoulders. Bowling might sound silly for a woman like me, but those 2 a.m. games at Benny's Alley? They were my escape. No demands, no expectations, just the satisfying crack of pins and the rhythm of letting go. So when the tournament invitation came, 3 days in Chicago, all expenses paid, it felt like the universe was offering me a breather. A chance to just be Jessica again. Not Nurse Clark. Not the woman who always held everyone else together. I packed light. Threw in my lucky bowling shirt, the one with the stitched heart patch from that time it got caught on a splintered chair. I didn't know then that I'd leave Chicago with a very different kind of scar. He was there in the lobby the first night. Cole. Quiet confidence, maybe late 20s, a little younger than me but with a steadiness I hadn't felt in a long time. Our eyes met more than once that evening, though neither of us said anything. He smiled. I smiled back. At the welcome party, Karen from my league was relentless with the wine. "You need to loosen up," she kept saying with a wink, filling my glass again and again. Maybe I did. Because by the time I stumbled back to my room, my heels dangling from my fingers, my mind buzzed with something that felt dangerously close to hope. The hallway was quiet. My key card stuck, and I cursed under my breath, fumbling. Then came a voice. "You all right there?" It was him, Cole, holding his room key, 2 doors down from mine. His tone was casual, but his eyes lingered a second too long on my face. "Yeah. Just wrestling the door," I said, laughing awkwardly. "Want a hand?" he asked. Some part of me hesitated, but I nodded. We ended up sitting on the edge of my bed, talking. First about bowling. Then about music. Then somehow about heartbreak and how tired we both were of pretending everything was fine. There was something unspoken curling in the air between us, like static before a storm. He reached for my hand. I let him. It was innocent. Technically. But the way our fingers locked, slow and unsure, felt like a dam breaking. I hadn't felt that in years. Connection. Real, raw, terrifying connection. "Jessica," he whispered. Just my name, but it sent a shiver straight through me. We didn't do anything that night. But our hearts did. They crossed a line long before our bodies ever could. The next morning, he was gone. Just a note left on the dresser. "Thanks for letting me in, more ways than one." At the lanes that afternoon, we were just 2 bowlers again. Smiles, playful jabs, shoulders brushing every now and then. But under it all, the pulse of something that had started and wouldn't stop. The last night, we stood outside under the flickering hotel sign. It should have been goodbye. But he looked at me like he was still seeing the woman I was underneath all the layers life had piled on me. If I said I wanted to see you again, would that be crazy? "No," I whispered. Not crazy at all. Back home, everything felt heavier. The shift schedules. The silence of my apartment. The way my phone stayed too quiet until it finally buzzed. "I can still feel your hand in mine," his message said. I still think about those 3 days. About the version of myself that came alive in Chicago. About how sometimes, the people who show up unexpectedly are the ones who remind us who we are. No, we weren't some epic love story. But we were something real. Something mine. And when the nights are long, and the hospital lights buzz a little too bright, I close my eyes and remember that I was seen. Chosen. Held. Not as a nurse. Not as someone broken. Just as Jessica.